Article 41(2)(1) of our Constitution says that by her life within the home, woman gives to the state a support without which the common good cannot be achieved. And Article 41(2)(2, to ensure that mothers shall not be obliged by economic necessity to engage in labour to the neglect of their duties in the home. It was to be a new College of Domestic Science. The skills that were taught in the very first curriculum in the college included art, needlework, laundry, dressmaking, dress design, housewifery, cooking, but it also included institutional and hotel work. The brief was heavily influenced by the conservative and patriarchal society of the time and supported by the Catholic Church. So the building was designed by Robinson and Keefe. They had established a practice in 1925. It is a quietly dignified urban block. If you just stand and look, what appears to be quite low-key initially shines with quality. Look at the brickwork, look at the patterns, look at the stonework, look at the beautiful curves. Look at how it sits into the streetscape. It's wonderful. If you look at the decorative glazing in the main entrance, it's playful and it's beautiful and it's very Art Deco. And it does contrast with the very solid, functional timber windows into the classrooms. But that contrast I find very appealing. The single bay at each corner of the building on Cathal Street is curved at ground floor level and splayed on the upper floors between two projecting pilasters, with a curved projecting shelf at the first floor sill level, and that supports the stone carving of the three graces on the northwest corner.
If you're walking down O'Connell Street, you start with the O'Connell Monument at O'Connell Bridge, and you pass a number of statues of men on pedestals. And if you keep going, you'll arrive at Parnell at the north end of the street. But if you turn off into Cathal Street, you will see these three young women. For all the world, I wish they were on a building, for example, on O'Connell Street, because where they are, nobody sees them. People don't look up. Gabriel Hayes is the sculptor who's responsible for the sculpture on the facade of the building. There were to be two originally, but only one was carried out. She got the commission when she was working on probably her most important commission, the reliefs on the facade of what was then the Department of Industry and Commerce on Kildare Street. Women in art had an uphill battle getting recognised. Her male peers were the ones who were best known. She's in competition with them to get particular commissions, and finally she beats them. But she's still not getting proper recognition. The writing about her is horrendous, I think. I mean, it's so insulting. When she was doing the Kildare Street work, there's a photograph of her in the paper. She's working in hanging scaffolding on the building, and the headline over it is, "Woman Sculptor Gets Big Task." She's a very strong and powerful sculptor, but there's a great sensitivity in it also. The three young women represent different aspects of domestic science. So one woman has a sewing kit and she's sewing. The one standing in the middle, she has a book in her hand, which is presumed to be a recipe book. And the most wonderful of them with the brush, because she's just looking out into space and she's dreaming, she's not concentrating on what she should be doing at all. Very strong figure. One of the things that's particularly interesting about them is what they depict. Portrait statues in the city almost all men. And when women do appear, it's an allegorical figure or a mythological figure, not someone who existed in real life being commemorated. So this is real life.
When you move into the building, it's like a big stately liner. The balustrades in stainless steel and hardwood, they're beautifully designed. They swoop with glee. You've got a lot of spectacular use of Irish marbles, wonderful use of terrazzo. And what's really striking in this building is how well these materials have survived. In my opinion, good architecture is architecture that lasts. So it has a timeless quality. It has performed well. It still looks amazing. And it still is a useful building. And it plays a really important role in our city. It is now part of our architectural heritage. We can learn from buildings like this.
In relation to the opening of the building in 1941, I want to read this quote from the Archbishop of Dublin at the time, John Charles McQuaid. He said, "I'm glad to bless this house because its work will reach to the foundations of human society. Here, in fact, will be trained the women who will assist in building happy homes, for here will be imparted right knowledge and practice of the home craft." It's confirming this idea at the time that women stay in the home and not compete with men in the workplace. A piece of sculpture by a woman whose profession was to be a sculptor. She had a family, she had a husband, she had children. She functioned in the home the same as anybody else, but she had a job to do.
This building is of its time. The ethos was to educate women primarily for their work in the home, but times have changed.